There are no dog vehicles being repossessed. I know exactly who you're talking to. So it's been taken care of. So I don't know where you're getting your information from.
You see, I know exactly who said that to you, and I also know exactly who said it because it isn't true. However, I'm not sure where you found this information. Here's how saying stuff like, "Hey, it's your girl J9." They merely converse. I'm just going to say these words. I'm just going to throw them out, and I'm hoping that they're in the right place like a puzzle. Please press the like button, Eve. Register. We are archiving tonight, as you can see. Kindly let me know your thoughts, share the video, and leave a comment. This scenario, in my opinion, was intriguing since it illustrates the consequences of giving these trolls a chance and the distance they attempt to travel. Naturally, it starts with Tiffany lecturing about how you must learn, but are incapable of learning, and that I am attempting to teach you anything, but you refuse to listen. This is from when Lacey was still there, but it also includes her. We're going to go right into it, and you'll see why Mama picked this scene because it's hilarious. I won't waste much time on small talk at the beginning.
Stop following blind. I keep telling y'all that.
Yeah.
Educate yourself. Learn. Learn. But y'all won't. Everybody want to earn, but don't want to learn. Get a clue. Go ahead, Lacey.
I just want to address something that Trustee House said
Uh-huh.
in reference to the email that you got.
Okay.
So you say as far as vehicles being repossessed, there are no dog vehicles being repossessed.
Well, it appears that House made reference to the cars being repossessed. He is currently discussing something with Lacey, and he says what he says. He says something, and then counts to 20, contradicting himself in the exact opposite way, which is why I thought that was amusing.
In reference to the email that you got, so you say as far as vehicles being repossessed, there are no dog vehicles being repossessed. I know exactly who you're talking to.
Okay, so he said that no automobiles are being repossessed. I know who you're talking to, where you got that information, and it's not true. Now remember that he said it just now.
Guess what? It's been taken care of. I got a whole armory of ammunition with not a bill. So it's been taken care of. So I don't know where you're getting your information from.
You see, I know exactly who said that to you, and I also know exactly who said it because it isn't true. However, I'm not sure where you found this information. Here's how it's amusing how these individuals behave. They are simply speaking and saying things such as, I'm just going to say these words and I'm going to throw them out, and I'm hope that they land in the right place like a puzzle, okay? I'm going hope that they land in a proper spot. That's what I'm going to do.
Who's emailing you? But I have no problem with sitting down with you and saying, guess what? This is what's going on.
Uh-huh.
But you won't do it because guess what? It's fact. So anytime you want to sit down with me to find out what's going on with the police department, trustee, I have no problem with it. I have no problem with it. But don't sit up here and say what's going on as far as the police department without a false narrative. That's all I'm saying.
Well, thank you for that. I also emailed that to the finance director, village administrator. So this is the first update I've got. So I thank you.
Wow. You know what? But see, here's
So, when I see that, House Humble Ass House says, well, thank you for trying to, reply to whatever that is now saying when I've been asking you. But I did get some sort of response from somebody or whatever. Obviously, Lacey has no humble bone in his large, crooked, and strange-ass body, but he instantly shows a little grace, and the entire team is ready to leap. They do this, so let's investigate the issue. They're going to discuss it. If I would have received a response if you chose to, she said. I would have exactly, he added.
problem. This could have been taken care of before you got here.
If I would have got a response, it would.
I don't want to allow them to continue, but she did. I just decided I don't want to do it, and I can't stand it any longer, so I'm not going to do it. They will all jump. She is the worst. Oh my God.
Wait in front of the people.
Sir. No,
you
sir.
chose
No,
to.
sir.
I'm sorry. Did you just
Let them finish. Let them finish.
Stated differently, it's adorable and you're not. But that's the reality.
Come on. Let them finish.
You chose to get to a board meeting, and put it in front of the people, and you got everybody laughing and think it's cute. It's not cute.
Is that the center of the village? Oh, I see. Whatever the case, I had thought it was a town terrorist.
You call in the police department. If you don't need the police department, don't call. But don't sit up here and say, guess what? What's not being done. That's done. And if you want proof, I have no problem with it. But sit.
Yes. Please provide some proof. If I could find any proof that it exists, that would be beneficial. They took a very lengthy time to answer to my long-standing request for it. They didn't even claim to have responded to my inquiries. But they were saying something like, "Oh, we've been so transparent. We just give it to you as soon as you ask us stuff. We don't give you no lecture and tell you how we already gave it to you when we didn't do none of that. You wonder how little. And now this right here took place 25-24, which is a year and a month ago, 13 months ago. And Tiffany can't for the life of her how she lost her supervisor and her mayor position. I say super mayor because she lost both of those things.
Talk to me. Don't get in front of a board meeting and say what you say.
When I want to say anything, I'm going to say it. I'm sure the bastard you fired is wondering why he's no longer there.
If I can get a response, then I will not make a statement.
And I get that part. But you know what? You can also get a response from me, the head of the department, that can give you the information.
Take a look at that, Tiffany. Tiffany, what are you saying? Don't forget to give him space to speak. She permits them to speak. Avoid interrupting them. During their conversation, she merely squawks, a tiny sound. He started talking, and Tiffany let him continue. God, I just made myself angry. Okay, please have a look at that. Brittany Norwood and Belle Beller both wanted to say something, but she will now let everyone in line speak.
So let me address what's the AP process. Since
Tanique was the one with the money and she never had any, I just wanted to remind you where she went. All right, where is Tanique? There you have it, Tangani. Oh, she was let go.
each department head enters their own invoices. They make the orders, they talk with vendors, they know what they need. So if you did have a question about where their orders are, if we have not received the invoices and they have not been inputted, the person to go to would be the department head. So when he's saying, can you please speak to me about the invoices, it's because he really knows the status of where the service was, who was ordered, and whatever was going on.
That's okay, Tangenique. We know they won't tell. Not that we don't believe they know the solution. That's what we're saying. And we don't believe that anyone inside is unaware that Tiffany is clueless about the location of the funds. You dismissed her while she was wearing this fake-ass bracelet that she purchased from Amazon because they claim she won't tell them, which is stupid. It's not a real Vankel as she expects you to believe, since, well, it's not. Tiffany provided her a meager income of $80,000 to $90,000 a year, but that cash won't get you a Van CLE. That is not for that. It isn't Van CLE, and it isn't a Van CLF pay to receive that, to be sure. Amazon is the source of this. Quit talking too much now. We're simply conversing a lot. You dismissed Tang because she seemed to believe she served up something, honey. Now, what are you doing? Since Good Bureau is no longer in operation, I am aware that you do not work there.
I'm not going to belabor the point, but I want to pray.
He is going to go up and do what he is about to do, since House just said, don't pray for me any longer, because you something is wrong with you. Okay, I don't want you praying for me anymore. Okay, because he gets up and pray and then lie bold Fayed. They dismissed him twice, and this is also right here. After being dismissed from this one, he fled to Thor Township and was also fired there.
Those who despitefully use me and speak all manner of evil against me, so I will continue to pray
Ain't that something?
for this village. And each one of you, if you can just ask yourself, have you ever come to me as a department head and asked me, what do I need? I can say, Clerk Key.
I'm G, and I can attest to this guy's peculiarity. He's been fired, and now he has no job at all. Since Tiffany isn't paying him out of her own pocket, which isn't possible, he isn't getting paid at all. Tiffany still has him as an errand boy, so even though he was fired from both, he doesn't have a job and doesn't have time to obtain one for the elections and other events. In what seems to be a disguise, he is distributing pamphlets, voting early, and prowling around the building during the elections.
Every time she calls, if she's honest, if she sends me an email, I respond back immediately. Okay? Not one of you. I spoke to you, Trustee House. I honor the seat, but I don't respect what you say. Because I spoke with you personally and I asked you, I said, Jason, maybe you don't like the way I do business or like the way the mayor do business, but can you tell me, we've said this face to face. I said, tell me one thing you've done since you've been here for 8 years. You said this out of your mouth, and I quote, I've done nothing because no one asked me to do it. Okay, you can refute that, but you and I had that conversation. And so just tell the people what you've done. Okay, Trustee Belcher, Trustee House, Trustee Norwood, Trustee Tammy Brown, what have you done to help these people? Okay, maybe
I'll tell you what they did, I see. They removed your ass. Yes, they performed admirably. They then encouraged others to help you in the same way. All right, so they motivated the Thor Township trustees to take the same action on your behalf. They did just that. On election day, they simply strolled around a parking lot, conversing with jobless folks, and they made you go from employed to unemployed. They did just that.
I've erred. Okay, maybe I erred to be passionate about changing people's lives. But you tell me what you've done. I don't take offense to it. I just continue to take charge. So I appreciate it. Give me an opportunity. But we need the trustees to hear what we're saying as department heads. Come to me and ask me what I need my department for you to start.
He was just saying, I'm not coming to you to ask you to do your job. Come to me and ask me to give you that I'm supposed to give you and I'm already being paid to give you. He had mentioned that, but I didn't say that.
Taking things out because you don't know how that affects our residents.
I need to be recognized.
All right, go ahead.
Let me first start off by saying, Mayor, that's the issue that we have. You say out your mouth, oh, you don't say what you said. It's not your job to tell me what to say. 22,000 residents, when they voted, they gave me permission to say whatever I decide to say in this seat.
Thank you.
And that's what you do not understand.
That's what she don't
You
get.
sit up here with these smoke and mirrors. This is not a dictatorship. You're not Putin.
She can see what's going to happen next, honey. And she's seeing into the future. Whoa, this is aged well and reflects current events around the world.
That's why we are here. You say, oh, me and my people in the back, we do this, we do that. They don't do anything. First off, our job is legislation. Because I know someone asked about our job. Could you let me finish?
That's right. I know. Tiffany, are you going to tell him to shut up? Will you advise him to hold off till she's done? Tiffany, I'm going to presume you won't say anything.
More, because I'm right now is not the time. Let me finish. So, as the legislative branch,
F***ing off Brittany Norwood is something you will not do, I will tell you. You know when to stop pouting at Brittany Norwood, all right? She is too cute to be true.
our job is to oversee the finances and to create ordinances. That's our job. So first, when you all sit up here and say, oh, well, you all voted no for this, you all voted no for that, that's our job. That is what the people elected us to sit up here and do.
Thank you.
To monitor the finances. Because they know, the government know that there may be people like you who sit up here and just spend all willy-nilly without the board's discretion.
Exactly.
That's why we put ordinances in place.
Thank you.
You say, oh, well, what about the money? What about the money? Our job is to oversee the finances. But yet, I have an email here where Trustee House is asking, hey, guys, we haven't received the financial report since September. Hey, guys, we haven't received credit card statements, so we don't know what's been spent since June of 2023. This is almost a whole nother year. Payroll reports. We haven't received the payroll report since December. So when we talk about what we're doing, this is what we are here to do. At the end of the day, when they say, oh, well, put this back in the budget, put that back in the budget. First off, they don't even follow the budget, because if they did, we wouldn't be $7 million in debt if they did.
Damn.
If we did, we would have the mayor spending an overtime of a whole entire $1 million.
Tiffany let her continue. That's the hypocrisy, just in that alone is a cause that a needy for her to be gone. Oh, rude HG's so unprofessional, let him finish, oh. And then 2 seconds later, here you are interrupting people when they say stuff that you don't like. That alone is a cause for you to lose your position and never get it back and be humiliated. Okay, Tiffany said, interrupting her and allowing her to finish as you would have.
We're talking about the police. We're not saying the police is not doing a good job. What we're saying is to be with you when they should be out here protecting the residents, so we can all field. So you sit here and say, oh, well, we did give them the paperwork. Why would we be in court demanding to receive paperwork in which we receive? That's the thing. When she sit here and she say, oh, they're lying. So what do? We went on YouTube and provided receipts. People love the receipts so much because now they can see who was lying and who was telling the truth. But what did our administration do at that point? Cut off access. So now we can't see credit card statements.
Damn.
We don't know what's being spent. We talk about what's scary. You know what's scary to me as a trustee who had the people elect me to do this job? What's scary is not how much is in our bank account.
Now, keep in mind that this was happening 13 months ago, and they are just now starting to see things. Although they had been doing this for a long time, they had to recruit an outsider to come in and try to see this. She is talking about something that has been going on for a year and a half, and a year and a month. So you can see what I mean when I say that they have no idea what's going on, until someone shows them the receipts showing where all of this money has been going and all of this stuff, so they can look back and say, oh my God, this is what they were doing when they were giving us a business in these meetings, and like we were crazy.
That's scary. Not knowing what position our deficit is in. When we last checked, it was a $7 million deficit in September. So let's talk about facts. You sit up here and you demean us all day like you have children up here, and which you do not. Do your job. Be a great leader. Talk to your board. You all say, oh, well, they want to prove this. They don't know what's going on. How about it's your job to be a good leader and tell us?
Yeah.
That's your job. We shouldn't have to call you every meeting. Call my phone. How about you be a good leader, bring our piece to the forefront. So not just us, but the residents and everybody else in America know how the money is being spent. But residents, if she loves you so much, why won't you present the RFPs for the board? Because that's all we're asking for. We're saying, hey, spend the money, get the services, but let's get the best bang for our services. Why are we paying $10,000 for a tree that costs $1,000? But she say kickbacks. Who's receiving the real kickbacks? And that's why we're asking for receipts. Show us the information. Give us the facts. You sit up here, you talk about what we're doing, what we're not doing. Just do your job. Don't worry about my job. My job is to sit up here and do what the residents elected me to do.
When I say that this includes everything, I mean that. They have been dealing with these problems for a long time, so when they seem content and are prepared to put in their best effort to win this election, and when this and why it was so important, these are the things to be mindful of. 13 months ago, it looked like this, and Brittany Norwood was looking really anxious. Brittany Norwood is the sweetest person in the universe. She is pure sweetness. So when you annoy her to the extent that she expresses her anger toward you, you are the problem and the bad guy. It's as simple as that. I won't do it at all, and you folks act like way. Okay, my mom does peace and she loves you. Thanks for watching.